Hey my loves, welcome back for another hair tutorial. If you're tuning in for the first time, I'm Ashley, and as you guys can see, I'm in my Pop Smoke rest in peace braids, ready to slay another wig for you guys. It's been a minute. I took a much needed hiatus and just focused on me, as everyone is doing during this pandemic. But today we're going to be playing in a gorgeous lace wig courtesy of Westkiss. As you guys can see, there's so much dimension. You have the highlights, you have the dark root, you have everything you need for a beautiful slay during the spring season. So this is what the inside of the lace looks like. This is a 13x4 lace wig, 20 inches in length, 180% density. The lace definitely is not my skin tone, so we're gonna fix that super easy. All you do is grab your foundation brush as well as one of your favorite foundations. Make sure it's not too red, because sometimes even if it matches your complexion, if it's too red, it'll look a little bit crazy on lace. Now I'm going to go in and buff that in as good as I can, and then I'm going to go ahead and blow dry it. The reason I'm blow drying, I kind of wanted to set in the lace so that when I put the wig on my head, it doesn't transfer and have, makeup all over my hair. This here is my natural hair. I am going to be starting a natural hair journey pretty soon. I want to get my hair to hit my butt. I don't know how I'm going to grow my hair, because typically I just leave it alone and it grows on its own. But I really want to get into my natural hair and learning so much about it. So stay tuned for that segment on my channel. But for now, this is how I maintain my hair under my wigs. And you see it's super flat. All I did was wash and, condition my hair in the shower. And then I blow dried it. And then I did 3 braids on each side. Kind of see, I kind of finessed like a beehive situation where I kind of twisted in the back and bobby pin it so it's flat. And it works for me, so I don't have to go to the salon and get my hair braided by a professional anymore, because I am the professional. So now we're going to work on the install. The install is always first, unless you want to customize. In my case, I did co-wash this wig off camera. It does have a pre-part, center part going on. I would go in and pluck out the hairline, but you'll see when I'm done, it really doesn't need it. One way, sometimes it is a little hard to tell if you should pluck or tweeze the hairline. So you can go in with an electric hot comb, as I'm doing here. I did not add any product, and I'm just going in and I pretty much press out the hairline. That way you can really see what it looks like. Normally, if you've washed the hair or it's a little bit frizzy, you really can't tell. Even here, I recommend that you kind of open up the hairline a little bit more so it's super flawless. But again, I'm gonna just work with what they provided, and I think this is gonna come out super good. Okay, so the next step is going to be to customize the wig around your ear. Before you go in and bond it down, you want to make sure it fits right ear to ear. Just generally speaking, most companies will make a wig so that it fits ear to ear a little bit too big, and that is because some people may have a bigger head than you. So it has to be kind of like a one size fit all situation. Now we're going to cut off the excess lace. Some people bond the wig down before they cut off the excess lace. Some people do it after. Today we're going to be cutting all the lace off before we go ahead and bond down. I picked these scissors up from Amazon. I will have them linked down below. I think they're more like school scissors, the kind that have the zigzags. I wanted to try something different because it works better whenever your lace is not straight. Now the thing about this is, because I had the wig on my head, it was hard to get a close cut since they are so large. I like the way it came out because it came out like zigzag but not too messy. But again, I wasn't able to get as close as I wanted to as far as taking off all the excess lace. So here, for example, I'm going to cut off all of that in the front, and I kind of defeated the purpose because it doesn't have that jagged, perforated look that I need. So it kind of killed the point in that sense. But of course, I'm going to try again to make it perfect, because I really like the way it came out. So the next step is going to be to go ahead and bond the wig down. You guys know me, I don't really use the glues. I use a non-glue adhesive, which gives a more temporary hold, but of course it just helps me to preserve my hairline, my edges, and all of that. I go ahead and I apply it ear to ear and clean it up and make sure it's not running or dripping down my face, and then I'll apply the wig on top. And do you guys see how good that looks? Keep in mind, I did not I did not tweeze out the hairline at all, and this looks amazing. And this is why I tell you guys, you don't always have to pluck out the hairline. Of course, if I would have done it a little bit more, it could have been even more perfect. But to me, this looks good, and you can make this look super seamless with your own hairline and your scalp, and you know, be good to go. So with this part, I know I get a lot of questions. You kind of have to use as many of your fingers in as many different locations. You gotta, you know, secure the center, secure the sides. You kind of gotta work it in and make sure it gets tacky before you let one side go. If you push it down and then let it go, it's gonna pop up. So you have to kind of hold it in place best you can until it kind of slightly bonds down on its own. And then from there, it's still pretty much wet. So I use my blow dryer to bond it down from ear to ear. Once it's bonded down, I kind of will go in and spot touch up any areas that still need a little bit more adhesive. In this case, in most cases, it's usually like around the ears that I'll have to go in for a second time and make sure it's bonded down. Also, when bonding it down, it kind of will feel dry at one point. I still continue to blow dry until it feels like suctioned on my head, and that lets me know it's dry. Now we're here, and I am super pleased with the hairline. Again, if I would have plucked it, there's pretty much a risk that I would have over plucked it. And as you guys can see, once it's blonded down, you don't need as much. Also, there are very fine knots that I could have bleached, but it's all gonna look good and it's all gonna come together super nice. I want baby hair from ear to ear, but I want it to be nice and subtle and thin, so I'm just gonna section it off from ear to ear and cut it down. And you guys know I typically will use a foam or a mousse. That is my favorite go-to, but I've been just trying different things as of late, and I went back to a edge control and I absolutely loved it this time around. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna use my eyebrow brush, or not my eyebrow brush, my baby hair brush, and kind of just play with the baby hair until I get it how I really want it. Now this baby hair came out super good. I'm super pleased with the way it came out. I personally feel like it's not too much. I personally feel like this can be worn, you know, it's kind of like work safe, fun safe. You can wear it to the club, you can wear it, you know, with your kids, you can wear it anywhere, and it doesn't look overdone, but it is kind of like full baby hair. So let me know what you think of it. Again, you can kind of see those knots in there. You could definitely go in a little bit and bleach the knots a little bit more so that it is even more flawless. But I feel like once it's all said and done, you can add a little bit of powder to the hairline, and that'll camouflage that, and you'll be good to go. If I did not mention, this wig does come in 4 different colors. This here is the 17. It also comes in a 1B7, a 1B5, and also an NA27. When you go to the website, you'll be able to, you know, select each of, or whichever one that you want. Again, if you want this one, it's the 17, and they do have pictures of each of the colors, you know, displayed in the thumbnail or the sales page, however you want to call it. I really like the way this color came out. I was a little bit nervous that it was too bright or too yellow with the highlights, but all in all, it came out really nice, and I think it was really cute for a, you know, quick switch up, and you know, just something a little bit different. You guys can see when you look close up that it has that dark root, and then it's kind of gradient into the brown, but you also have that blonde. I believe that for it to be such a bright color, it was done pretty tasteful. As I said before, I did cold wash this wig before I started the process. Whenever I go in and customize my wigs, I like to make sure the hairline, around the parting, the crown of the head, pretty much the entire area of lace is slayed to the gods. So in this case, I did use that edge control, which kind of added that kind of shiny effect to the hairline, and I kind of wanted to even it out. I just didn't want it to be shiny in the hairline, so I added a little bit of wax all along the parting, pretty much wherever you see the dark root, and kind of evened it out. If you don't want yours to look this shiny, then I recommend not using so much edge control and maybe using the mousse instead. That won't dry as shiny. Also, the shiny effect does wear off pretty quickly. After I filmed this video, I pretty much put a scarf on for the rest of the day, and that wore off, so it doesn't stay shiny like that, just for reference. And here I'm adding a little bit of hairspray on top of that. I do sometimes add a good amount of product, but it's so that my styles can last. Like, I'm doing my hair today, and this style will last me all throughout the week as long as I wear my scarf. The only things I'll have to do is touch up the ends. Speaking of the ends, this is what it looks like. I co-washed with my Aussie Moist. I allowed it to air dry with no product, and it came out super beautiful. You will notice that the parts that are bleached the most, the curl pattern does loosen up the most. So those little highlighted pieces, instead of being super wavy, they are a little bit more on the straight side. But as you kind of wet it back and then you add product, it does revert and it still has texture. But that's just general with any kind of, you know, hair in general. The more close you dye it and get it to blonde, the more it'll kind of strip the texture a little bit and it'll go straight. That's just a rule of thumb. Here I am using the same thing I used to co-wash, which is the Aussie Moist, and I'm going in on each side and just making sure that the hair is nice and detangled, and I add a good enough product again to last me throughout the week. So as each day goes, I can like touch up my hair and I really won't have to use a whole lot of product. I can mainly just kind of wet it and finger comb it, and it'll go back to this style. So that's pretty much it. This is the look and a style. This wig came from Westkiss, as I said before. You guys know I absolutely love working with this company. They have some bomb hair. Oh, I forgot one thing, and that is powder or concealer in the parting. Typically I use concealer. I used to only use powder, but lately I've been liking the look of concealer more. To each his own. I highly recommend you try both and find, you know, what works for you. But again, if you are interested in this wig or any wig that I reviewed from this company, I'll have the link listed in the description box, as well as the full details on this wig in itself. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It will help me out so much. We are on the road to 250K so that we can finally get to 300K, hopefully this year. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends, turn on your post notifications, and hit the thumbs up button for more videos. I love you guys, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Smooches!